Geez, legend, Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Nice and early in the morning here on a Sunday. Anyway, I've got a package of Forrest beers. Forrest Brewing Company. They're out of the Otways here in Victoria. They're like a local family team. Pretty small. I know that there was talk of them with government grants going into like a bigger facility. Don't know if that's still going ahead, but hopefully it does. Yeah, they're good people. They do really good food. Their main probably main like customer these days would be cyclists. They've got like some mountain bike trails in that area, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You go down there on a weekend, there's just like bike riders everywhere, and the place is pumping. I think they're only open now, sort of later in the week. But yeah, good people, and I think it's 8 of their beers that I'm going to have a crack at. So yeah, we'll have to take it nice and slow. I've got a good mix as well. I've got all their core range and then a couple of sort of limiteds. So I'll go through them now. Hopefully everyone's having a good weekend. They're all in these bigger bottles. So they're 500 ml bottles. They're all got pretty similar labels. So first of all, you've got the Silver Top Lager. And that's at 4.1%. And this is the order I'm going to drink them in too. This is a single batch like special brew. It's called H's Pilsner. And that's at 4.9%. I'm not sure who H is. Oh, here we go. Made by a German brewer, Hannes. Yeah, cool. That's awesome that they've got a German brewer. So I know over the years, I think it's a brother-sister team. I'm not exactly sure, but I reckon the fella has done most of brewing, and then sort of as the place has got a bit busier, he's always sort of had a second guy in charge, and maybe they've gone for like a head brewer sort of thing now. Next up is an Irish red. That'll be nice because it's something I haven't had many of lately. 3.5%. And now's another limited release. This one's called Sticky Fingers. I'm pretty sure this is a wet hopped lager. Yeah, wet hopped lager. They've actually got their own hop farm just down the road from where they're based. They do an annual like a picnic day where people can go pick the hops, and yeah, like then they'll have beers and barbecue sort of afterwards. It's pretty cool. I feel like they're one of those breweries that are sort of community minded, and like the town they're based in is only really small. So yeah, that's the first four. I'm worried they're going to go flying on the floor here. I've got no room on my coffee table. Next up is the pale ale. So that'll be more of your American pale, 4.8%. And then, funnily enough, when I first got into craft beer, and obviously because these guys were relatively local, I tried them in the early days. And I remember this beer being massive. It's only 7.5%. But yeah, when you first get into craft beer, that's like pretty heavy. It's called Untamed Turkey. Pretty sure it's a American, like a West Coast IPA. Yeah, they've classed it as a double IPA, but it's 7.5. It's definitely got some oomph to it though. And then this is their like lower ABV stout, 4.5%, just called stout. So yeah, their logo, it's pretty much just sort of like they've made it just like very simple. It's like the sort of the mountain trails that you're on the bikes on. And then this is probably the one that excites me the most. I haven't had it for a while, but yeah, it's called Block Splitter. So back in the day, Forrest was known for like its sawmills and all that sort of thing. So it's pretty cool. 9% Imperial Stout. So yeah, that's the finisher. So yeah, all in all, like they're one of those breweries, like they're local, they're small, they're solid. Like a lot of their beers aren't going to absolutely blow your mind, but they're still like at that small scale and yeah, probably getting better. So let's see how we go. I'll check out the comments. As I said, hopefully everyone's having a good weekend. Cheers, Shuey. Good to see you. Yeah, that's funny. You always want me to try these shit beers. There's no point to it. Why would I want to get a beer if it's shit? Cheers, Ghost. Speak of the devil. Cheers, Joe. Yeah, I want to hang out with some of the English lads, so I sort of knew that. Like I didn't drink yesterday. I had one beer. I did one beer review, and yeah, that was all I had. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll get on it early today" because I went to bed last night pretty early. I see Craig had already done sort of a live stream. That Simo must be doing a stream today, so I'd say they're all hanging over there. Yeah. Cheers, Susie. Bloody oath. You sound like Levi with a comment like that. Cheers, Thomas. Good to see you, brother. It's good hanging out with you the other night. I don't know if I told you recently, but I'm going to see Kasabian. They're an English band. Going to see them this week, and I'm trying to book a tour at Starwood. I thought you'd be pretty happy with that. If I go there, I'll definitely like take a heap of photos and let you know my thoughts. Yeah, exactly. It's like you'd get enjoyment out of it, but what's in it for me? It's like it's just a waste of money. With the cost of beers and stuff here in Australia, it's like you're stupid to buy something that you know you're not going to like because you're wasting like $5, $10. I mean, yeah, when it comes to if someone's like donated, say, I don't know, like $20 worth of shit beers or something like that, it's like I'd be happy to do it, but I'm not going out seeking, wasting my own money on shit beer. Anyway, let's get into it. I've got plenty to get through. It's going to be interesting because, yeah, well, as I said, I've had their beers plenty of times, but it was sort of years ago. So I'm sort of hoping, really hoping deep down that maybe the quality's got like a little better. And they're all going to require an opening. So luckily, I've got a bottle opener. I was searching around for one for yonks. great. There we go. So let's get into it. Silvertop Lager. Not sure whether it's sort of they've gone for a German or a Czech style. But yeah, I'm guessing it's probably going to be based on like a Hallis or something like that. I've just got a basic glass here. It's from a brewery called Nomad. They're pretty average brewery, but it's a decent glass. I'm just wondering how much to have because I've got so many beers to get through. Maybe I'll go halfway up the Nomad logo. So yeah, it's a little bit cloudy, probably a bit darker than your standard. I would say, yeah, it's got a heap of carbonation going on. About a half finger head. So yeah, like the clarity, it's just got that slight cloudiness to it. Now that it's sort of settled, it looks all right. Let's go a whiff. Hang on, what's Thomas saying? Yeah, yeah. I really want to try some of their like smoky stuff. I just haven't been able to get a bottle. I thought, oh, if I go to the distillery, at least I might have something there. Cheers, Bounty. Cheers, mate. Yeah, we'll have to organise some sort of sesh, a group of us. Be good to like hang out with like Harry and Craig and Rob and Jake and all those boys. Or even some of the Americans, like, yeah, sort of close with some of the guys you are. Yeah, let's give this bad boy a whiff. Bit of bread, some biscuit. It's got sort of almost like a honey thing going on. And apologies for my voice and sinuses, bit of hay fever again. Yeah, like fresh cut grass, lemon. Doesn't smell like it's going to be too bitter. It's got a bit of sweetness to it. Let's get into it. So yeah, this one was 4.1. Cheers, guys. Yeah, there's a bit of malt sweetness there. I feel like it's more biscuity than bready. Nice, like nice mouthfeel to it. It's quite smooth. I feel like it's more of like a sweet lager than dry. I sort of expected dryness and bitterness, but it's not really there. There is a touch of bitterness there, but mm, fairly hoppy. Like you're getting a lot of that sort of zest, like lemon zest, like grass, sort of earth. Wonder what hops they use in it. Because yeah, just being known as silver top lager with no, yeah, there's not sort of a talk of it being like German inspired or anything like that. Like they could even use their own hops in this one. It's pretty solid, easy drinking. You could definitely slam a heap of these down. Yeah, the mouth feels like quite different to what I expected. It almost has a mouth feel like a pale ale. But yeah, it's definitely got some good flavour to it. It's like a lot of your smaller sort of breweries that have just your basic core range lager, they can be a bit like lackluster. This one's not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be good. Like the fact that I'm having trying so many side by side, just having a small amount of each, and then because I'm going on and hanging out with people, it's like I can just sip the rest of them throughout the day. I'll be pretty loose by the end of the sesh. Cheers, Jimmy. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, the bloody dickheads. I thought they would have went live yesterday. No one went live, so I was just sort of sitting around. I didn't want to go live myself because I'd been live the previous day. Um, so then I thought, oh, well, I won't drink yesterday. I just ended up having a pretty chill day, and then I thought I'll do this, like this brewery showcase, like now, like because I thought, oh, there won't really be much going on, and now both of them have gone live. Oh well, it's sort of good because I can tuck into these, and then once I'm done, like I can keep drinking with them. Because I'm obviously not going to drink 8 full bottles on a stream. Cheers, Dad. Because quite like when it comes to like doing them at these stupid times, I'm doing them to suit like the English people or the US. I'm obviously not doing it for my own benefit. Getting up at 6 o'clock. On to the next. Solid lager, that one. I would say I'd probably say like Germanic leaning, but yeah, it's one of those ones that's sort of hard to tell because it's just got some slightly different characters to it. So next up's the Pilsner, and the fact that this Pilsner's been brewed by a German is pretty cool. They said they use Pilsner malt and German noble hops. Let's hope this one's a bit easier to open. They don't make it easy, I tell you. Beauty. I had a way better bottle opener somewhere, but I can't find it. Damn it. So H's pills at 4.9. So this is where we'll sort of see the difference of their classic lager recipe as opposed to like something new and done by a German brewer. Beautiful. So not as dark. You sort of wonder what malt they used in that last one, but this one's just the Pilsner malt. Same sort of carbonation, fairly lively. I would say straw in colour, this one, like a medium straw. And it's got bit more of a head on it, about probably 1 to 2 finger. Let's go a whiff. Ooh. So straight up on this, I got like lemon zest. Very, very like zesty. It's almost like I feel like you can tell this one's relatively fresh. Biscuity, slightly bready. Touch of like, yeah, grass. It's just more punchy than that last one. But yeah, as I said, it's like it's sort of brighter, smells fresher. Hmm. Maybe even a touch of orange as well. Like a peppery note. Smells really good. Actually pretty keen on this one. Cheers, guys. Yep, it's got that like grainy feel. Sort of reminds me of like a North German Pilsner. Quite hoppy. Mm. It's actually really good, this one. I definitely feel like it's super fresh. I don't know if they have their dates. Oh, it's got an expiry on it, December 26th. So I'm assuming it was brewed, yeah, 2 months ago. Yeah, it's got that it's very, very like biscuity grainy. It's yeah, quite bitter. And yeah, it's got this like punchy citrus with sort of like I don't know, like wet grass. But yeah, it's really good. You can tell when Germans brew beers, they just I don't know, have that put that passion into their brews. Yeah, that could be a really good thing having a German brewer. Similar sort of mouthfeel. It's got yeah, like that foamy head sticks around. It's good. Hmm, nice one. So yeah, it said German traditional style Pilsner, crisp, clean, and refreshing pale lager, light straw in colour with a creamy white head, made by our German brewer Hannes, with Pilsner malt and German noble hops. A perfect match for a sunny day barbecue. Sweet. Next up, the Irish Red. This will be pretty cool because, yeah, as I said, I haven't had an Irish Red for yonks. This is 3.5. Normally, Irish Reds are, yeah, just more about the malt. We get that sort of, yeah, like toffee, like biscuity, like nutty sort of thing. That one opened a lot easier. Yeah, the like the graininess on that last beer is just sort of hanging around, and the bitterness. Oh, that's good. I'm quite impressed with that last beer. I don't know about last beer, as in the character last beer. He's a bit of a shady boy. Shout out to Josh in Virginia. Another nice foamy head on this one. Looks really dark. No, actually, maybe not. So yeah, pause sort of. It's not as red as I would expect. It's more of like a copper color. Probably looks more red in the camera, but just here in reality, it's more of like a copper color. Carbonation's very lively. They've all sort of been the same as far as that goes. This one's got a fair head to it. Probably say like 3 or 4 finger. The clarity's probably a bit more on this one. Could just about see through it. Let's go a whiff. I'm finding it hard to get through all that. Okay, it's coming now. Yep, so you got like sticky toffee, biscuit, maybe like some dried fruit, a little bit earthy. It's not as punchy on the nose as I sort of expected it. It could be one of those beers, just yeah, like the aroma's not real punchy, but once you taste it, it's different. As I said, most of these beers I've had before, but it's just been a long time. I thought I actually had a Forrest Brewing glass. Maybe I have, I just can't find it, but I definitely remember seeing them back in the day and thinking I had one. There was a time there for a while. I used to go to the venue a fair bit. The only shit thing was is we'd always be driving, and I'd have like the dogs with me and stuff, and yeah, you'd be keen as to have a full sesh there, but yeah, because it's like where it is, like in the bush, and like probably a 20 minute or a half hour drive from where I am. Yeah, you'd only be able to have sort of 2 beers and then hit the road. I have gone there and had a full sesh when I've had like other people with me and I wasn't driving, but just not very often. It's the sort of place if I could get there on public transport or walk or whatever, I'd go there all the time. Anyway, let's tuck into this Irish red. Cheers, guys. Ooh, that caramel toffee's pretty tasty. It's like sweet, but not too sweet. You do get a little nutty vibe as well. Yeah, it's good to have an old school style like this, a classic. I feel like with beers like this, there's not really anywhere to hide. It's pretty tasty. It's got, yeah, it's like almost sort of like an Anzac biscuit, but without the coconut. You sort of get this like sticky, biscuity, like toffee sort of thing going on. And then I'm getting like like almost like honey. And you get like a nutty vibe as well. And then, like your sort of like maybe like a dried apricot or like a raisin. Nice mouthfeel too, like quite smooth. It's got like a similar mouthfeel to that Pilsner. So yeah, now that I know that the date was on that other one, yeah, so this one must have been brewed in October, so that'd be like 4 months old. But for a style like this, that's going to be fine. The lager was in the first one. Yeah, that'd be 3 months. So they're all within a couple of months. That's good. Cheers, Dorito. Good to see you, brother. Just a casual beer review of 8 beers in one hit. Hope you're well, dude. They had an Instagram post, dude, of that punk rock festival over in Adelaide at the brewery. And apparently, some lady that lives in the area, she must be like a fair way away from the brewery. She's like, she rang up the brewery and said, "Oh, something like, do you have to have that music so loud? Can you turn it down a bit? You'll be going bloody deaf." So they've used that as like promo for like showing highlights of the festival. You're always going to get some fuckwit like that. It's like she thought they were just playing like blasting music on a stereo or something. Shout out to my Irish friends. Who have I got? We've got Thomas and Keith. This one's for you. That was a bit of a shit display there. That's better. Yeah. But the funny thing was like I loved how they used it as their promo. Like they've obviously recorded the message she left. And then it said the suburb she was from, and she was like about a suburb away from where it was. And all the musicians are like, yeah, when they posted it on Instagram, all the musicians were going, fuck yeah. The Pennywise guys seem like good dudes. On to the next. I need a bigger coffee table, guys. I want a big slab of red gum just sitting in the middle of my lounge room. Something that's all not like nicely cut. You just leave the grain, leave it how it lies, and just fucking cut your bloody knees on it. Some of those old school like red gum, yeah, like furniture and that you see looks so fucking sick. When I used to work for a furniture company when I was younger, we'd do like custom made stuff, and I'd go like set it up for people. And I remember this one couple, they had fucking shitloads of money. They bought pretty much every furniture item in their house was red gum, even their bed. Fuck me, it was heavy, and it looked so good. But yeah, obviously the moolah was pretty expensive. So this one is called Sticky Fingers. Reason behind that name is, yeah, it's a fresh hop, like a wet hopped IPA. I mean, sorry, pale. Yeah, and when you're picking the hops, like the resin, Sticky Fingers, they do their own hop picking, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's known as a hand-picked wet hop lager. We use heritage road night hops from original 1950s cuttings grown on our farm in Forrest. Cool. Yeah, as I said, they do their own hop picking day, and if you go out there and help them pick hops, then you get on the beers and the barbecue afterwards. It'd be the sort of thing I'd love to do, but I'd want someone to drive me there. It's like I'm not driving. If I'm going there, I'm going to drink up. That's a shame with stuff like that because it's like too far away to just you need to drive to get there. So yeah, similar to the first one, this little bit darker, more cloudy. It's still got that nice foamy head. Feel like the first beer just didn't have the same sort of head as the rest of them. But the carbonation on this sort of looks a bit more mild. Color I would describe as it's probably like it looks shit in the camera, but yeah, that's just my shit camera. It's more of like a sort of like a dull orange, slight copper. Yeah. Nah, this is Adelaide's over next state in the middle of Australia. Uh, they had they had it at a huge brewing facility, Pirate Life. Pirate Life was my original like craft beer brewery that I absolutely loved. They sold out now, but they're still run by the same guys, and they've still got a fair bit of control to it. But yeah, they're just obviously absolutely loaded now. The brewery, and yeah, it's like they still sort of label it as craft. But yeah, they do a heap of shit with like sport and music, like a lot of collaborations. And yeah, it's this big old, it's a fucking massive like brick building that takes up a whole block. I dare say it would have been like an old woolen mill or something like that. It's just got that look about it, real old school industrial. And yeah, they've got a huge like sort of outdoor area, and they must have had the gig sort of outside and big setup, like all the bars and that around it. Shit, it looked unreal. I really wanted to go, but it's just that little bit too far away. It'd be like you going to a gig in, I don't know, maybe Denver or something like that. Like it's yeah, if you're gonna drive there, you need like fucking 3 or 4 days to do it properly. For me to fly there, it's a pain in the ass because I've got to go. I'd have to go back to Melbourne and then back over the top of where I live. Like it's fucking annoying. Yeah. Okay, let's have a whiff of this bad boy. What's the date on this one? Yeah, see, this one's pretty old, but in all honesty, I expected that because I know they've got their hop picking thing coming up. So yeah, this is almost at expiry. So I'll have to remember that when I sort of, because yeah, being a wet hop like fresh hop beer, obviously it's going to drink really well in the first few months, but then it'll die off. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting mainly malt, like bready, biscuity, maybe slightly grainy. It'd be good if there's still some hop character there, but I'd be very surprised. It does still smell a little grassy, like floral. Okay, let's go in. Cheers. Maybe a touch of citrus. You can definitely tell that it's like an old beer. So yeah, I'm certainly not going to critique it. I totally understand. Like it would have been the same beer. It would have been this beer itself. Just this one would have been sitting. They've probably got a heap of them and just been sitting for like months. But I have had it fresh, so I know what it's capable of. And the fact that when I put the order in with the brewery, they like looked after me. I said to them, look, I want to revisit your beers. Haven't had them for a while. Just wondering if, yeah, like when you next where I live, if you're able to like drop them off. And I want to buy two of everything you got. And yeah, like obviously I didn't give a fuck about dates and that, just as long as you get most of them a decent quality. And yeah, they sort of bundled it up and gave them to me for a good price. So I was like happy. And like I expected this beer, to be honest, to be like the older one. So yeah, I'll definitely have to get the new edition once they do their hop picking, because they do the hop picking day and then they smash them in the brews straight away. And then, yeah, within a few weeks, it's good to go. It's still drinkable, still got some of the hop character, but you can just tell that it's old. It's got, I would say, like lemon, orange, like grassy, floral. Yeah, like obviously being their own sort of hop. The what was it, Road Night? I'm not real familiar with what its qualities normally are, but I got a feeling it was sort of similar to like a noble hop. I love the fact they got their own hop farm. That's cool. Yeah, mouth feels similar to the others. Relatively smooth. I definitely think this beer's normally got a bit more bitterness to it. But yeah, I know that the last time I went to the brewery, I drank this and it was quite fresh and yeah, it was quite a good beer. Yeah, that's the first half done. So next up will be the pale. So yeah, the date on the pale's good. It's only a few months old. Wonder what hops they use for this one. Before you take that first sip, you've got to breathe this one in. These Cascade hops are like the what is it? Like the bush after rain. Have a sip, you'll get lovely apple flavors, then a lingering wedge of caramel malt. The finish leaves a refreshingly crispness. Cascade hop land a lasting touch of bitterness, gently balancing the malts. We let malt Otways water, hops, and yeast do all the work. You won't find any preservatives in here. Best served cold and enjoyed while fresh. Cool. Hopefully, it's got some nice bitterness to it. And cheers to whoever's like sticking around. It's one of those streams. It's obviously, yeah, like review, just banging on about beers. Nothing too exciting, but it's the sort of thing people will watch back if they're interested, especially if, yeah, they want to try this brewery stuff. Ooh. So far, I don't need an intermission. I will eventually. Got to break that seal at some stage. And shout out to Paul and Michelle, Rate My Beer, currently over in Austria. I thought that's pretty rad. Um, yeah, they do a lot of these little flights. They get like awesome deals and just drop of a hat take off to other countries. It's pretty good lifestyle. I was just chatting to them, and they were sitting in the main streets of Vienna, drinking like pints of local beer, and yeah, it looked really cool where they were. Good people. They're yeah, going through some shit at the moment, and so am I. So it was good just yeah touching base with them, making sure they're cool. I must admit though, yeah, taking that couple of weeks off work's definitely helped. You got to do it every now and then. So yeah, that Cascade smells quite good. So yeah, bready, biscuity. I'm getting that grainy touch, which is good because I really enjoyed that in that Pilsner. Not sure if it's caramel this one, but yeah, I get more of like a bready, biscuity thing. Like quite grassy, maybe a touch of pine. And there's like some citrus as well. I feel like lemon, maybe some orange. Hmm. Good old Cascade hop. Smells good. Yeah, it's definitely got lemon. A lot of their beers have got that like Real strong lemon zest. Even though I've got hay fever, I feel like my nose goes all right today. Hmm. Anyway, on appearance, I would say straw, like a dark straw, about probably a two-finger head, not as lively as a couple of those last ones, but yeah, you can just about see through this one. Let's get into it. Cheers. Good level of bitterness. I like it. They're like sharp pine, maybe like a peppery vibe. Lemon, orange, maybe even a touch of apricot, this one. It's quite bitter, so for a pale ale, yeah, it's one of those ones that if you're not into bitter beers, it might not be sort of the one to go for. I feel like as far as the core range goes with Forrest, like say if you're a lady going there for the first time and you haven't had many craft beers, I think they'd probably be guided more towards the silver top or the Irish red. Or they'd probably ask like, are you into like roastiness like coffee and chocolate? Then they'd say, oh, maybe try the stout. But yeah, the pale ale's quite bitter. It's good for someone like me, but I just think with a like a beginner palate, that especially like, yeah, if you're not used to bitterness, it might be a bit too much. Ah, it's quite nice. I definitely get like a white bready thing, and yeah, that lemon zest just hangs around. Sort of like it gives you like lemongrass vibes because it's huge lemon zest and like real sort of like damp grass. Mm. It's gonna be good just sipping on these for the rest of the time afterwards. I just realised it says on here Forrest Brewing Company established 2010. So been going for a fair while. But yeah, they're always really, really small. I feel like they're one of those companies, like, because they're small, they're in a little town. It's probably more about the food than the beer. But yeah, anyone out there having a drink? I might have to cook myself up a nice breakfast after this sesh. Okay. Before I get stuck into the untamed turkey, which they claim is a double IPA, I'm going to have a short toilet break. So yeah, I'll be back shortly, guys. Maybe give us 1 minute. Cheers, guys. Was always going to break the seal eventually. I think I've done well to get to beer 5 before I did it. So yeah, as I said, untamed turkey. Um, I'm pretty sure it's like an American style IPA. 7.5. They have it as a double. It's probably more high end single, but I do remember it being a pretty big boy when I used to drink it back in the day. So looking forward to this one. So it's definitely got that like old school colour to it, sort of like your Sierra Nevada Optimum. Um, Relatively clean and clear, a little bit of chill haze, about a 1 finger head, probably mild carbonation. Let's go a little nose. Ooh, yes. So you get some nice malt sweetness. Definitely like caramel leaning. Yeah, it smells like sweet caramel. Maybe like white bread, biscuit, predominantly caramel though. Sort of getting maybe a touch of like orange and like earthiness. I'm hoping there's some pine in it, but yeah, at the moment I'm getting mainly malt. What's the date on this one? Okay, so this is only this is less than 2 months old. It's about 6 weeks or something. So quite fresh. Because yeah, it had an expiry of like 27. I'm thinking, oh, that's good then. It's been brewed this year. That malt is huge. The good thing with these beers is I've still got like a bottle of each of them just sitting in a box. I think I'll have to drink that sticky fingers pretty soon though. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, guys. Yeah, you get this like huge caramel sweetness. And yeah, as I said before, like that, it's almost like a sticky Anzac biscuit minus the coconut. Like some honey sweetness, some biscuit. Mmm, it's quite nice. It's almost like the red ale, but dialed up massively as far as the malt goes. It'd be cool to see these guys do a red IPA. I think it'd be quite nice. It's maybe a touch of booze there. You can tell it's one of their bigger beers. But yeah, I have found throughout this journey that there's definitely more sweetness than dryness. The bitterness sort of, yeah, like obviously according to style differs. Most of them have had that same like pillowy mouthfeel. Woo! I feel like I'm starting to get a bit of a buzz now. So yeah, let's see what this one says. The Untamed Turkey, Bold Adventure, and a little bit different, inspired by our. Apologies if I can read. I'm a very knowledgeable boy, but it's really hard to read this text. The Untamed Turkey, bold, assertive, and a little bit different, inspired by our pet turkey Tom, who died last year. Like like Dustin, our double IPA. Like Dustin, our double IPA displays a rich golden head. Who the hell's Dustin? Anyway, like Dustin, our double IPA displays a rich golden head, generous body, and colours of burgundy, red, and brown. A big solid bird. Sorry, beer of intense malt flavours. Toffee, caramel, sweet biscuit, and rum soaked apricot. Yep, I can see that. Finely balanced with spicy, peppery hops of both the old and the new world. Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't really got past the malt yet. Yeah, but I definitely see that stone fruit touch to it. It's interesting how they say rum soaked. Probably just because it's got that like slight dark fruity. I need that little thing where you just have it so it like sits there like that. This is what I'm currently drinking. Shout out to Banks Brewing in Seaford, Victoria. They're good people. Yeah, I get sort of like dried apricot, but I also get like prune fig, like dark fruit. Huge caramel, biscuit. I get like an orange vibe, like a peppery thing. Yeah. I do feel like though when you drink this, you definitely get a bit of a buzz. You wouldn't want it to be any stronger. It is a rad name though, Untamed Turkey. It's cool too that it's obviously based on like a real life. Tom. Shout out to Tom the turkey. So now it's dark time. And obviously we're gonna have a huge difference between the first dark and the second. Because the first is 4.5 and the second is 9. So this one's just called Stout at 4.5. Get into it. Pardon me. I'm a huge stout fan, but quite often lower ABV stouts they don't hit. They can be quite, I don't know, quite lackluster or something. When I want a stout, I want something big. So that's why, like, when I go to Forrest Brewing back in the day, it's like I'm gonna get myself a block splitter. Yeah, let's see how this one goes. I mean, I still when I used to go there, if it was like I'm gonna have a core range beer, I'd probably lean more towards the pale or the stout over the others. Hmm. It's got a bit of oomph in the aroma. So, appearance wise, I'm not going to say it's jet black because you can see like a amber copperish sort of tone. So you'd probably say it's like, I don't know, like dark chocolate in colour. It's about a 2 to 3 finger off-white head, like just slightly. It's not like tan, but it's not solid white either. Carbonation's sort of hard to tell, but they've all been sort of fairly similar in that field. Let's whiff her up. So yeah, dark chocolate, caramel, Maybe a little touch of coffee. It's almost got like a charry, smoky. Yeah. I get this like little faint sort of charry, smoky edge to it. Smells pretty good. Cheers. Smokiness or like some dark fruit or something in between. There's just something there in the malt that's like slightly different, but it's like it's tasty. It's like a slight biscuity touch to it as well. It's actually pretty punchy for a low ABV stout. I'd say like a smooth and creamy texture. Something like this would be pretty awesome on nitro. Mm. Cheers, Stewie. Welcome back. She's been pretty quiet out there. Not much interaction, but it's expected. It's just a beer review, multiple beers. Yeah, similar vibes to Guinness. It's like dark chocolate, sort of like almost like a burnt caramel. Maybe that's like, yeah, it's sort of, I'm getting this slight sort of smoky, charry sort of texture. And it's like, it's like a good thing. But yeah, like a touch of dark fruit. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to the block splitter. Yeah, so this is just the low ABV stout, just the basic orange stout. And then they've got the big boy after this. But yeah, after that, I was doing pretty well, but then after that Untamed Turkey, the American IPA, it's like, ooh, I'm starting to feel it a bit now. Probably should have had some breakfast first. Especially if I'm going to get into this. Let's look at the percentage on that bad boy. Split that wood. But yeah, I love the fact that I've cracked them all open and whatever I do next, I can just sip and enjoy on each one. Good times. Always enjoy the multiple beer reviews. Unfortunately, I need to break the seal again. Yeah. I wonder if this one's got oats in it. I sort of get that slight oaty vibe as well. Let's see what it says on the back. Pairing a deep cherry red. Oh, pouring. I wish they'd just use normal writing and make it easy to see. Pouring a deep cherry red and developing a smooth latte like head. This one presents with dark mystery, created with 6 malts and oatmeal. Yeah, I knew it had oats in it. Sammy's Sammy's palate is doing pretty well lately with picking shit out. We achieve a rich, complex malt profile and silky mouthfeel. Just a touch of hops to mellow the roasted malt, providing a gentle bit of finish. A complex stout, bigger than the numbers would suggest, yeah. That's what I said. For a low ABV stout, it's quite punchy in flavour. We let malt, Otways, water, hops, and yeast do all the work. You won't find any preservatives in here. Servers like enjoy whilst fresh. Yeah. I am enjoying the guessing of stuff, and when you're picking out things in beer and most of the time you're nailing it, it's like, yep, I feel like I'm doing a decent job. Not just a pretty face. I'll tell you what, I need to do something with this. That's looking rough as. What a bogan. So we're on to the finale. Whew. Let. Ooh. Ooh. There was pine before, but you left. You missed it. So, should I crack the seal, as in break the seal again, since I'm going on to the last beer, or will I hold out? I feel like I'm going to hold out, but I may have to leave eventually. Come on, beer. Open up. Yeah. Block Splitter. The one I've been looking forward to the whole sesh. 9% Imperial Stout. From what I remember, it's like a Russian Imperial. Whenever I used to go to the brewery back in the day, if they had this on, I got excited. Used to drink it. I'd always bring bottles home with me. Yeah, let's get it into us. Ooh, I feel a toilet break coming on. Oh yes, look at that. I want to see Forrest Brewing Company do a bourbon barrel aged block splitter. That would be divine. So I would say, to me, this one is jet black in colour. I don't see any sort of reddish hue or brown. The head's pretty light. I would say it's tan, but it's only like sort of a half finger. Pretty light carbonation. Body, I would say medium. Let's go a whiff. Oh, yes. Smells like really roasty, really rich. Drink it. So yeah, roasty and rich. Two words to describe it. I'm getting more of a coffee, like coffee, dark chocolate, burnt caramel, maybe some maybe like a molasses vibe in this one. It's definitely dark fruit, like your plum, your fig, your raisin, even like cherry. Oh, it smells good. See, if this was bourbon barrel aged, it'd be fucking amazing. There's no doubt about it. Out of all the beers today, some of them have had some decent aromas. This is definitely by far the best. Like it's bitter. It's definitely there's not really any sign of sweetness. It's just like rich, roasty, and bitter. It just reminds me of like a Russian imperial stout, or as some have said recently, a Ukrainian imperial. Time to go in. God, that beard looks rough. You can definitely tell when I wear a white t-shirt how rough it looks. There's a couple of people the other day thinking I'd cut my hair because I had like a black hat and a black t-shirt on, and yeah, it's like no, no, I'm growing it long again. Oh, it smells so good. Let's get into it. Cheers, guys. It's definitely like complex malts. Like you can tell there's like a heap of different malts in it. Just on the palate, then I would say most prominent's probably dark chocolate. But yeah, you're getting a heap of coffee, heap of like caramel. As I said, sort of like a burnt caramel. I'm not really getting sort of bready, biscuity, yes. Maybe like oatmeal. Um, yeah, there's no doubt there's dark fruit. Sort of get like a mixture of like fruits, like I think I said plum before. I meant to say prune, like prune, fig, like raisin, even like a dark cherry. and molasses. It's quite sort of like sticky. Yeah, possibly currant stewie. It's not licoricey. Sometimes I'll get licorice vibes from Russian Imperials. This one doesn't have it, but yeah, it's got that molasses thing going on. As far as booze goes, I feel like it probably drinks about where it is. Whereas I feel like that American IPA I had not long ago is probably boozier than what it actually like. I felt like it drank boozier than what it was. So yeah, I'm getting like it's obvious this is probably the favourite beer out of the lot. Um, I still think they could improve on it, but it's pretty fucking good. Yeah, I would love to see them do like a bourbon barrel age version, even if they did it through. I know they sort of have contacts with other breweries in the area. I think it'd be cool if they paired up with like Prickly Moses or even like one of the Geelong breweries or something and did a bourbon barrel age one. Or I mean, they could get their own barrel, but they're probably just not used to doing that sort of stuff. Hmm, that's good. It'd be nicer if I feel like the mouthfeel could be sort of more of a silky smooth. But all in all, it's pretty good. I mean, the mouthfeel with most of these beers I've thought's been pretty decent. And yeah, people have probably thought, because I did say earlier in the video, if I felt these beers had improved because I hadn't had them for a while and obviously more advanced palate, I honestly think they have. Um, there's been times where it's been a bit hit and miss with Forrest, but I've been pretty impressed with the 8 I've drank today. Um, if I could sort of pick out three favourites, like the three that have, sort of stood out, even if they're high ABV, low ABV, a style I love, a style I hate, sort of thing. I think the three best for me. This is up there. I'd probably like just on I don't know enjoyment, personal enjoyment, and that this would be number one. But that pilsner I had earlier on, um, now I've got to find where it is. Yeah, that I really enjoyed that. That's just a 4.9% pilsner, but I just think it was really, really well brewed. Um, so that would be second for me, and then third would probably be. See, normally it would be this because I think that's normally a pretty good beer. I would have had that second or third, but this you can tell is an old bottle. Out of all the range, most of the bottles I got were fresh. This was old, and like I've got no hate towards them for this being an old bottle because I know how it works. It's a fresh hopped IPA. They only do the fresh hopped every year. So yeah, I've just got last year's stock because they haven't brewed the new one yet. So yeah, that would have been second or third. But yeah, I'd probably go the pale ale just because I thought it was like pretty solid like Westy lean and pale. But yeah, definitely those two were the standouts for me. the Block Splitter, Imperial Stout, and the H's Pills. Good to see you, Short Straw. Yeah, dude. Quite often I'll get it like yesterday I didn't do much. I did one beer review and was waiting around for my English friends to start shit. No one did anything. And then so I just ended up chilling with the dogs sort of in the backyard. It was nice warm weather. Got to bed early and then I wanted to do this Forrest Brewing stream. They're based in the Otways, dude. You've probably been down there before. So I thought I'll hold it off. I'll do it early in the morning and then like join the boys after I'm done. I didn't realise I was going to do streams at the same time. Sort of made it a bit annoying because a lot of us have got the same sort of people watching. So my numbers have been a bit lower today, but at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's just getting the review out there and good times. This beer is very tasty. So two of my closest English mates that I expected to go live yesterday have both gone live today, sort of the same time as what I'm doing this. If I had known it, I would have obviously I wouldn't have got up so early to do these. I would have held off and then I would have done them later and appealed more to my American mates. But it's the beauty of going live. I mean, it can be shit at times and you can sort of really struggle. Well, there'll be times where you can flourish, but at the end of the day, people can always watch it back. So, hope you're well, dude. So, now I've got 8 opened 500ml bottles to get through. It's been a very, very enjoyable side by side. I love doing this sort of stuff. Obviously, it's something you can't do very often because, it's pretty insane. It's like you have to do it when you have nothing on, and I've had 2 weeks holiday, hence why I've done it. So yeah, shout out to Forrest Brewing Company. I can't remember the name of the two. I wish I could, but family team from Forrest. Forrest is a little town in the Otways, as I said, very popular with like mountain bike riding. It's sort of a gateway to the Otways. A lot of tourists go through there when they're heading down to the coast. Very, very beautiful area of the world. And the brewery's like good little spot. They have really good food there too. And the beers are only getting better. So cheers, boys. So as I said, Block Splitter, Imperial Stout. So they've got a history of like sawmills and all that sort of shit back in the day. Forrest used to be one of the main towns in the Otway for getting timber. And then you've got H's Pills was the other one. So they were the two standouts for me. H's Pills was just a German Pilsner brewed by a German. You could just tell like really good quality. I need to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks, peeps, for joining in. Um, I mean, it's been fairly quiet, but a good stream as far as beers and content goes. If you're ever in the Otways, check out Forrest Brewing. I'd highly recommend just a little sesh there, even if it's like a lunch feed and 2 beers or something. Just give them a crack and see what you think. But yeah, what am I going to do next? I've got a beer from Monkish out of California. I want to review that. I've still got some Aussie stuff, so yeah, I've got plenty going on. Like I've got another order coming next week. Those of the English, they'll know that. Yeah, Track, Beak, and Daya. I've got three of their best breweries collabing with Range out of Brisbane. Range out of Brisbane, respect for them with the whole cyclone going on at the moment. They completely fucking changed their brewery around and lifted everything off the ground in preparation for the cyclone and the storms. And yeah, they've gone to all this effort, and yeah, they pretty much did it for nothing. Didn't end up affecting them, but last year they had huge flooding, so they sort of knew what they didn't want to go through all that shit again. So yeah, cheers, peeps. I'm out. Yeah, we'll see you again shortly. Maybe look out for us on Simo Sups. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll probably head over there later.